So there's one of those events that give you rewards going on, and I thought that it would be fun to actually use all of the rewards in the same apartment. And since there were these really beautiful stained glass windows, I thought that it would be kind of cool to have it be for a mermaid who has kind of like a pirate vibe. So it will all become clearer as we advance, but I really wanted to include the bookcase door, and I also think that this is one of the cutest easels we have in the game. And when I filmed this, the last quest wasn't actually available, so there is one of the keys missing in that display case, but that's something that would be easy to add, and I really couldn't wait to film this video because I had this idea in my mind and it seemed so fun, and I really wanted to try and do it, especially because of these windows with the seahorse and the the ship. And I actually tried a few times to build something with this. I first tried maybe 4 different houses. One was in Brindleton Bay, and there was even one in Ravenwood in the area where the ghosts are. So yeah, there was a lot of trial and error with this one, but in the end, I decided that an apartment was the way to go. And I really wanted to have some sort of like house on the beach, so I even tried it in Sulani, and it just wasn't working. But I decided that maybe that is something that I could try later on, and I could just do an apartment since it's been kind of hard for me to build lately. I've just been very tired and I've had a lot going on, so yeah, an apartment was a way that I could actually finish this build because I have so many builds actually recorded, but I haven't been able to edit them and then do the voiceover and all of that. So yeah, I thought that it would be better if I just did something simple like this. But yeah, the kitchen has already moved quite a bit around this apartment, and we have the dining room table. This is basically what this area is going to be: kitchen, dining room, an entryway, and a living room, which I actually really liked that entryway. I thought that I did something that was interesting with this space. I really like this apartment. I like that big bay window that it has on the front, and I like that it has like the side of the building isn't so visible from the street, so that way I could actually add those stained glass windows and they wouldn't look too weird from the outside. It's also the historical apartment with the plaque, so that's one thing that you cannot remove, but I thought that it would look alright together with all of these more, they're like antique elements. I used a lot of Life and Death, the wallpaper and the flooring is from that. Also some of the base game, because it has some of these older items have these like pirate lore. So things like the wine cask, well, like a little barrel of wine that I have on the bar. The bar is actually from Cats and Dogs. I forgot to mention that, but it had this sort of like naval or like coastal vibe that I was trying to go for, and I really liked using that frame TV because it has the painting of the sea, so I felt that was appropriate, and the frame is very fancy. I used a few fancy frames all over this house, including this big expensive painting that I sized up. I actually have no idea how expensive this apartment is actually, but it's in the gallery if you want to download it. And I think I called it like something like Pirate Mermaid apartment. It should be easy to find, and if you cannot find it, it's also going to be linked down in the description of the video. So yeah, I tried to have an interesting entryway and it wasn't clicking at first. I moved the mirror to the other wall and that was also not working well, so I returned it to the wall that is actually part of the bathroom. And I also got a divider with, I think it has a boat that's also from Cats and Dogs, and I felt like it matched the windows pretty well. I also got a chandelier. I think that one is from Businesses and Hobbies over the dining room table, and I felt that it looked really nice there. And I also changed the rug on the entryway, and I found these I forgot what to call this. It's been so long since I recorded one of these things, so um words aren't entirely coming to me as I would like them to. But yeah, it's not a case, it's like a chest. Well, it's a storage thing. You can actually keep stuff in there. And now this is what the entryway is going to be like. Um, I really liked how we have that divider so that when your Sims enter, they aren't immediately in the like living space. And I like that separation and the detail with the boat. I also liked adding that sort of like corner storage thing with all of those decorations. And I was going to add some flowers or something on top of that, but I remembered that there's this lighthouse lamp actually, and I thought that was a fun thing to add there. And so, since I had that divider and the kitchen was right next to it, I thought that it would be nice to have some tile, so I got this one from For Rent. And since I was incorporating some green in there, and I actually really liked that this was a lighter color, I changed the counters. So these ones have a sort of teal color to them. So I feel like that worked better, and I also got a backsplash with the like tile panels that came with the kitchen clutter kit. So yeah, I realized I had some space behind the couch, so I added the it's like a diorama of Brindleton Bay. So since it's got a bunch of the sea and it looked like an expensive item, I thought that it would be kind of cool to have in this like sea and pirate themed apartment. So far we haven't used a lot of the items from the event. Most of them are going to be in. I have a little office that is actually going to be accessed through the bookcase door. I really like that door and I can't wait to use it in so many other builds, like stuff for other occults, or maybe just like for a mysterious sort of sim. I just think that it's such a fun item and it is just like a really cool design. So yeah, I was very interested in adding some of the more like pirate related items, like treasure items, um, on their own in their own room behind that door. But yeah, this is the bathroom. I really wanted to have a bathtub since I was thinking that this was an apartment for a mermaid, and I also made sure to add some stuff like sunblock, and I made like a seashell soap bottle. I had to get a bunch of the seashells and those collectibles from Island Living, so I found a room with them in the gallery and I placed them in the bedroom because that's a space that wasn't it didn't have a lot of furniture, so it was easy to have them all in there. Later on I'm going to be moving them to the office because I will run out of space because the office was the very last thing that I decorated. But I didn't even use all of them, but it's nice to have options, and I really liked to add some of them next to the bed and on the other on that office. I also think that in the bathroom they are not like too suspicious. Um, if this sim wasn't like public about being a mermaid, I chose a bed I never used. That's from the base game, and even before I had any packs, I don't think I used that bed like maybe at all. Maybe I just used it when I was playing with Dream Home Decorator, and that was something that fit the style that my clients wanted. But yeah, I thought that it fit in here. I was trying to have something that looked like a bed that you could have on a ship, but I keep thinking that ships don't really have a lot of beds. They mainly have hammocks, or maybe they have beds that are kind of built into the walls. So that's why I picked this one. It felt like it could almost be could almost have that vibe. I was kind of thinking a lot about Our Flag Means Death. I really like that series. I think it's really funny, and I know that it's not like historically accurate or anything, but I like that it has a very like unique style to it, and it does look like its own little world, and that's something that I always like when I watch television or when I make my builds. I kind of want to think that this is like a full character or something like that. But yeah, I wanted to have a vanity in here, and I actually don't keep it there. I actually moved it so that it would be next to the bookcase door. But I did add like a dresser and a closet on that corner, and I actually added one of the keys to that place because I had this small box that looks like it can be locked, and there is also this like storage. Um, is it called a chest? Like a treasure chest? Well, that thing. So I felt like it would be interesting to have one of the keys in that area, and I really liked adding those paintings from cats and dogs. I added a painting from that pack in the bathroom, but it's the bigger painting, and I chose a landscaping because it's the bathroom, and portraits in the bathroom just don't seem right to me. But I really wanted to have the portrait of the. I don't think that's Princess Cordelia, but it's a woman, and I thought that it would be nice to have that over this bust of Cordelia that I have on that. I think it's a memorial display, like the ones from Life and Death. Actually, you can only get access to that reward if you have Life and Death, which I think is really not great, but it is what it is. And since I do have that pack, I did include this in here. I don't have all of the packs, so when I play some of these events, there's rewards that I miss out on, and I just think that it's really annoying since it's all supposed to be free. But yeah, I decided to have a small desk in here just because that like display was taking so much space, and I did add the easel in this corner. I added this painting from werewolves um because it has a landscape that looks like it has a sea or something, and I know that it's in a terrible state, but maybe it was damaged during a raid, like a pirate raid or something, so I thought that was kind of fun. I also decided to exchange this glove decoration for the glove bar from Vintage Glamour, just so that this would be a functional item, and I thought that this one looked a bit cooler anyway, and I also thought that it would be fitting to have it under that. Is it called a steering wheel? I am not entirely sure, but that wall decoration from Cats and Dogs felt correct in there. But yeah, I just added some of these curtains from Life and Death, and that is it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please leave a like and a comment if you did, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye everyone.